by the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, precisely section 137(1)(j), that once you present a forged certificate to INEC, you are not qualified to run. That is the highest law we have in Nigeria. And after that, we now have the Electoral Act 2022 by section 134 of that act, that a contestant of an election can challenge the outcome of that election on several grounds. And one of the grounds is on qualification, which the 1999 Constitution has already provided that once you present a forged certificate to INEC, that is the electoral umpire, you're not qualified to run. And by the document submitted to INEC by Tinubu, which we have certified, Tinubu presented to INEC his purported Chicago State University certificate that was issued to him in 1979. It has generated a lot of controversies. Atiku Abubakar went to US and approached the US courts for discoveries to find out whether the purported certificate is genuine or not, whether it was issued by the school or not.
So in the findings, has it been confirmed whether or not the president attended that school?
It has not been confirmed.
It's based on the records.
It is very clear. Even during the proceedings, the lawyer to the school was asked, please, could you confirm the authenticity of this document Tinubu presented to INEC? He said that the school could not authenticate that certificate. And yesterday, in compliance to the order of Judge Nancy, the school released Tinubu's academic credentials to Atiku's lawyers. And what we have are certificates that were issued by Chicago State University between June 1979 and December 1979. And in all the certificates released by the school, none complies, or none is, there is no similarity between what Tinubu submitted to INEC.
So let's get it clearly. From the records shown and the records available to Mr. Atiku's lawyers, you are saying that it is different from what the President Bola Tinubu presented to INEC.
That's the truth.
What are the differences? What are the discrepancies on the document presented by the President to INEC and the one that was presented by the school? Is it in terms of dates?
Principally, is the signatories on those.
The officials of the school who signed those documents.
Yes. That's the principal issue. The certificate released by the school has different names from the one Tinubu submitted on the same date of June 22nd, 1979.
Does that tally with the argument in court that there was a loss of document and there was a reproduction of same?
Okay. Now, the names on Tinubu's certificates, it was found out that they were not even the employees of the university as at 1979. So, where did they now come to sign the certificate Tinubu is parading with.
Well, I mean, so if there was a loss of original document, as at 1979, when he obtained it, and there is a position that that original was lost, and so we are going back to school to get another copy, wouldn't it be the person who is sitting there at the time?
As at the time, the certificate was even reissued to him. Those names were not in the employ of the school. They were not.
What about the date of the said graduation? Is there any discrepancy in those dates?
Very well, very well.
What are the discrepancies?
The certificates the university released yesterday has names of the school administrators that signed those certificates. So, if the school signed a certificate in June 1979, and there is a purported one by Tinubu that it was also issued in June 1979, and the signatories are not the same, what will you make out of it? It is forgery. Because our court said, for you to determine which document is forged and which one is not forged, that you will not bring out the one that is believed to be original and the one that is purported to be forged. When you now look at the two documents, you'll be able to find out which one is genuine and which one is not genuine. From what the school released yesterday, there are discrepancies on the names of the school administrators that signed the one they released and the one Tinubu is purporting to have obtained from the school.
Do you also discover or notice any sort of difference in terms of the font of the letters or the form of the certificate as presented by the president and the one that has been released, if you make a comparison?
Very, very well.
What did you discover?
The difference is very clear. The fonts are different. The signatures are different. The names are different.
What about the dates? You said there are also different in dates in the months of and the date of issuance.
The date of issuance, what they have, they released several certificates. Some bearing 22nd June 1979, some bearing some dates in April 1979, some bearing some dates in December 1979. But in all that, you will see that the names on those certificates they released are quite different from the names on Tinubu certificate.
So, in all of this, I'd like to ask you, what is the major input as a lawyer who understands issues of jurisdiction? What comes out to you as the meat or in the pursuit of Mr. Atiku Abubakar and his lawyers in the foray to the United States?
Mr. Shehu, our law is very clear. If you present a forged certificate to the electoral umpire, that is INEC, you are not qualified to run.
You quoted section 137J, which says a person shall not be qualified for election to the office of the president if he has presented a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission. That is a provision of that.
Yes.
So have you been able to establish that? Because if you say that the U.S. court, based on the order of the U.S. court, you and the document received from the CSU, you have been able to raise an allegations of forgery against the president. Does that validate the position in the Nigerian court?
It's clear. You know, the correct legal perspective is the document Tinubu presented to INEC. Was it a document or was it a certificate issued by Chicago State University? And the answer is no. From what has been released.
From your own, what you saw, do you think the president finished from that school?
He did not. It's very clear now. It's very clear. Shehu, hold on.
Okay.
Shehu, hold on. The Tinubu alleged that he attended Chicago State University. So you don't jump into a tertiary institution. There is a procedure that takes you into a tertiary institution. The first one is your primary school education, then your secondary school education, and then your tertiary school education. First, in 1999, Tinubu submitted to INEC that he attended one primary school in Lagos and attended a government college in Ibadan. The late legal icon, that is late Gani Fayomi, took him up on this issue and went to court. So, in 2022, when Tinubu submitted his INEC form, he did not say a word on the primary school he attended. He didn't say a word on the secondary school he attended. And government college, Ibadan, has come out repeatedly to deny that assertion by Tinubu that there is no such record in their school. And that is the truth. Today, on that same form of 1999, probably Nigerians have also forgotten that Tinubu also claimed that he attended University of Chicago. He attended University of Chicago. And today, nobody is making mention of that assertion by Tinubu, that he attended University of Chicago. Now, when you now lay all this information on the ground, it's very clear. The logic is very clear that a man who has lied of his primary school education, of his secondary school education, and even the document released yesterday on the Chicago State University application form, he even claimed that he attended government college, Lagos, and graduated in 1970. The records speak for themselves.
What is the record?
The record is that as at 1970, which Tinubu claimed that he graduated from government college, Lagos, that school had not been established. That school came into existence in 1974. So, as a lawyer, I already know that you can't place something on nothing and expect it to stand. If the basis upon which, as I'm saying, assuming without considering, that he even attended the Chicago State University, on that false premise, whatever he got goes to no issue.
All right, so let me ask you, as a lawyer, the tribunal, the Presidential Election Court, was the court of first instance.
That's true.
And the court of trial.
That's true.
So when you go to an appeal to the Supreme Court, can you reintroduce a new matter or a new fact to your case?
Very well, Shehu. I will cite two cases here where the Supreme Court held that at the appellate level, an appellant or a party in the matter can adduce new or fresh evidence. In the case of Ozodinma and Izunaso, reported in 2017, the 17 Nigeria Weekly Law Report, I think part 1275, the Supreme Court said you can bring application for leave to adduce new evidence.
But there are no trials at the Supreme Court.
Yes, I have not cited an authority for you. There is also Amechi and Anek, reported in 2008, I think part 1020.
So there's a possibility that the lawyers of Mr. Atiku would probably bring this up at the appeal.
It's not probably, they will.
Part of the prayers as filed at the Supreme Court on appeal is that Mr. Tinubu and his party, just a moment, I'm trying to look at where the PDP is saying that Mr. Tinubu, the president, is not qualified to run for office. I'll get that. So you are hoping, okay, so that the former vice president also prayed that the court to hold that Mr. Tinubu was not qualified to vie for Nigeria's president at the time he did on account of the US for alleged drug trafficking. That prayer is not part of the prayers as presented on appeal. So this is going to be a fresh introduction, is it?
It is. And so the Supreme Court is not only a court of law, it's also a court of policy. In this matter, which has generated international concern, the issue will be